Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. For all of you watching out on our YouTube and Facebook Live channel, I'm wearing the Jenn Strong hat today. I decided to bust this one out. It's got some ridges on it. Actually, my wife's in better shape than this hat is 5 years later. But many of you know of my wife's journey, and there goes my hero and all that we've done for cancer and LLS and for leukemia and swabbing and saving lives and all of that stuff. But the little-known fact about this disease and the gift that was given to my wife of being a survivor and a warrior to tell these stories is that we meet other people along life's highway. I want to introduce Jenn Dempsey into the program. Jenn, first off, welcome in. I know you're doing some great stuff. I've got a story about how I'm attached to you in some sort of weird way. We've only met once that I'm aware of at an opening day a couple of months ago, and you're attached to my wife not only having the same first name, but also being a leukemia survivor now. Congratulations on that and hanging in there. We're doing some great stuff, and you're doing some great stuff up in Harford County. I just wanted to welcome you on and hope that support you in trying to be the woman of the year. You're already the woman of the year for me. You survived. You know what I
mean? Thank you so much. I'm really, really, really proud to be a part of this. This is huge for me. It means a lot, and I was very lucky to be able to meet you and Jenn, so it makes my day.
Well, I don't know how to even begin to tell this story, but first off, the event is this week. It's Sunday at the Main Street Tower up in Bel Air. Everybody's familiar with Mario and everybody up there. It's from 2 until 7. Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, they've been doing this for years. When my wife was in the battle, I've been asked a few times to run for Man of the Year. It's a hell of a commitment. I've supported many people that have done it over the years, including my dear friend Lee Tessier, one of my sponsors, who I met through Man of the Year 5 years ago, who won Man of the Year and did like over $150,000 one night for leukemia and lymphoma. But this is part of that. Part of the journey of being the man or the woman of the year is hosting events and making money and doing fundraisers. This is one of your big ones here this week. Give us the story for what's happening this week, and then I'm going to go back and tell your story. But let's get as many folks out to Bel Air as we can on Sunday.
Sounds great. Yes, we are going to be having an event. It's going to be a bull and shrimp roast. $40 gets you to see the downstairs level and upstairs level of entertainment, plus great food. We have a magic show, acoustic acts, full bands. It is going to be such a great time.
By the way, you don't just have a full band, okay? You have walk-ins welcome. My dear friend and longtime hairstylist Paul Lamantia and my guitar player in my band from Ridgemont High, Paul Lamantia, who will be out at the big event here this Sunday. So I got to give some love to walk-ins welcome if anybody knows.
Oh yes.
Well, Listen, I got to know Paul through his dad and the Ed Block Courage Ward Foundation. So, Paul's been attached to charity and raising money for orphan kids and kids in our community all of his life, literally. So it doesn't shock me that Walk-Ins Welcome said, yeah, we'll play a benefit for you, Jenn. But Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, everybody knows what they do. I don't know your story. Let me give you my story as to how I got attached to you. I was surfing Facebook, I want to say right around this time last year. It was during the mini camp of Ravens Week. And
Correct.
Tony Della Rose, who's, of course, been one of my Keemosabis, he and Rich McCarley and the Wapping Sea Bass from back in the days, and Della Rose's Avenue Tavern, and then Della Rose's Tavern up there in Bel Air, was hosting an event on the weekend. I guess it was a year next week, probably second weekend of June. And
Correct.
John Harbaugh said something sort of semi-flippant in his media comments, and he's always in a good mood. You'll see next week when he does minicamp. So John was in a good mood. I'm drinking a little water out of my Royal Farms cup because I'm parched this morning, Jenn.
That's okay. I got my coffee.
All this leukemia talk here, makes me parched, So John said something like, hey, any of you guys know anything about Bel Air? I'm going to be up there this weekend, like, hi to Bel Air, like John was just doing something like that. And on my timeline, I saw a thing for a Jenn who had leukemia, who was battling and bald and sick and fighting, and they were doing an event up at Della Rose's in Bel Air for a girl named Jenn. And I said, well, how can I not get behind that? Let me figure this out. And then I looked your name up, Jennifer. Am I pronouncing it right? Amarin? Is that the
Amarine.
Amarine. But I didn't know how to pronounce it. I looked and I saw your beautiful bald face here and your fight and all the Leukemia Warrior stuff. But I clicked on you. We had 59 mutual friends. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking through here and I'm seeing AJ and Bill Blondell and I'm seeing Chris Lynch and Brian Faulkner and Chris Slivka and Donna Stecca and Eddie Malad, who made my wife's wedding ring a million years ago. And Maria Dennis, who's also a leukemia warrior, and Ray Bachman, who produced my show, and Tony Della Rosa. So I'm just and Vicky Sika, who I sent her parents from Rosedale to spring training 20 years ago. So I have all these people in the Redmer family and Rob Fahey and Paul Wisner and Patty Orndorff, who I went to high school with, and Christy Heron, who was my massage therapist 20 years ago, and Julie Vanek, whose brother, Frank Vanek, was one of my best friends who died of this awful disease years ago. So we have all J.J. Kramer, who's in my studio, and I have pictures of the blast. And so we have all these mutual friends. And I figure that's Baltimore positive, right? So this is a year ago. And Harbaugh said, I'm going to be in Bel Air on Saturday, and your event was on that Saturday, and you were in the hospital fighting for your life. And I said to Harbaugh, I text Harbaugh, I'm like, John, got a little assignment for you, coach. And he hit me back, and he said, you got a restaurant for me? My daughter's got a lacrosse thing, and her girlfriend's got a birthday thing. And I'm like, listen, I got where you got to go. This is what you're going to have to do. He said, I'll do whatever you tell me to do. So I sent John Harbaugh into your event last year. That's not the best part of the story, okay? So the best part of the story is you're alive and we're doing another event at the Tower this week. But I don't know if do you know any of this stuff, like how all this stuff happened?
I know a little bit, and I didn't find out until
I'm going to let you pick the story up once I hand it to you. But this is going to be one of the fun stories because I haven't told this story, and maybe we should get Tony in to tell the story too. So Tony's my Facebook friend. Tony puts this thing up about this Jen who's fighting for her life, right? And she's in there. He's having an event. I'm like, and Harbaugh's in Harford County, and here comes my wife in here. She's now here she comes. So is she waving over my shoulder? So anyway, so here's the story. So I text Tony. I'm like, your event Saturday. Can I send a celebrity to help you out? And he's like, yeah, man. So I got him on the phone. I'm like, look, Tony, I'm not telling you who I'm sending, okay? So, but I'm sending a celebrity up. I need a table for like 12 people because it's going to be a lot of people. And I'm like, and I'm not telling you who this is, and I'm just not telling you who I'm sending, okay? But I'm sending a celebrity. And this is probably like on Thursday, Friday morning, I start stirring this up with Tony. And Tony's like, can I promote who the celebrity is? I'm like, you can promote that I'm sending a major celebrity, but I'm not telling you who it is. So Tony immediately, now keep in mind, the Caps had just won the Stanley Cup, okay? Like it was a couple of days after the Caps won the Stanley Cup. So I said, I made him think it was Smoking Al Koken, okay? I didn't tell him it was Smoking Al Koken, but he thought, because I've been threatening to send Smoking Al Koken into his place in the beginning because he made these drinks called Smoking Al Kokens. And I saw Koken every other day for 3 weeks during the Stanley Cup run, and I kept telling Al, they named a drink after you, you know? So Tony thought the whole time it was Smoking Al Koken. And I said, Tony, just get a table. I'm not telling you who it is. It's a big deal. And he did not literally know until the minute John walked in with his wife, daughter, family, friends into your event. And John didn't know how many people were going to be there. And I told him, John, there's going to be a lot of people here. This girl's very popular. She's fighting for her life. Tony's very popular. It's a big deal. There's going to be a lot of people there. And I warned John, I'm like, you're going to have to be the coach. You know, like, I'm not sending you to a quiet place. I said, but it's for a girl named Jen, who I don't know, who we have 59 mutual friends, including all these people that have been in my home, my family, in my wedding, you know, the deal, right? So we got to help this girl out. So we are delighted that you're alive, first of all, and doing this event. But I want to hear what happened on your side, because I've never heard you tell the story, because I've only met you once, and it was opening day, and we were all inebriated here at one point. But so tell me what happened with you and your journey of leukemia, so we can send 1 million people out to help you this week at the Main Street Tower in Bel Air, as we're raising dough and listening to country music. Although Paulie tells me it's not really country, but it's, you know. Give me your story. So Coach Harbaugh came into your life, correct?
Correct. Well, anybody that knows me, I'm a huge, just Baltimorean and huge sports fan, and as friends would come to visit me in the hospital, they would be asking for Jennifer Wieters because I like to change my name on opening day to Jennifer Wieters when we had them.
I guess you're going to be changing your name to Jennifer Rutschman now, right?
I think so. I was thinking that last night. No, but the funny thing was I should have been at that event. I ended up with an infection in my PICC line and ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. So
my wife is familiar with that. She's nodding her head right now. So, yeah, I know all about PICC lines and bacteria and infections and getting thrown in jail for the weekend. Yes.
Yes. So, I ended up there for a little over 2 weeks. I had my son and daughter were coming in the day before the event. You sent me a little Facebook message going, I'm sending a little surprise over there. I still didn't know what it was.
I didn't tell you either. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
No, just said, don't worry, there's going to be a little surprise over there, and left it at that. So, of course, everybody's FaceTiming with me. Someone sent me a picture, and they're like, you're not going to believe who just walked in here. And I'm like, looking, I'm going, is that really him? Is that really, really, really him? And they were like, yes. I was like, it's not a lookalike. They were like, no. So
well, if they wanted to look alike, they'd send me because I get confused with John. So, yes, I want to shave a little bit.
I got lucky. No, I wasn't there, but I was able to FaceTime with him. We had, because, of course, it was packed. It was loud. We were having difficulty hearing each other, but we got some great pictures of us two FaceTiming with each other. He introduced me to his wife. I got to FaceTime with him twice. So that was an honor and a pleasure because I am true and blue Baltimorean and I love my teams. And that just made my day. I couldn't be there, but it felt like I was there. And that was just, that was incredible.
Have you met the coach yet? I mean,
no, you told me we're going to have a dinner.
All right, I got to figure this out. All right, I'm texting Harbaugh right now. I'm helping Steelers fans with Tomlin this week. I'm on it, so all good. But for you with what you're doing here this week and running for Woman of the Year, I mean, first off, I'm married to a leukemia survivor 2-time, and my wife's had 2 bone marrow transplants, and I don't even know of your leukemia or your journey or how you had your life saved. Did you have a transplant? Give me your leukemia story.
Well, I'll take you back to the beginning. I walked around. I have ALL with Philly chromosome mutation, hence how me and Maria met. It's a very rare diagnosis, and she was, every time I looked into something, it's childhood leukemia, but it can strike once you hit over 45. Did not know what I had. Walked around 4 months and just getting sicker and sicker, and the bruising, and I was jaundiced for 2 weeks. I went blind because my retinas were bleeding. They told me once I got into the hospital that it kills you in less than 2 months, and I walked around for at least 4 months with it, not knowing. I was so critical. I was at St. Joe's Hospital. They were trying to do an endoscopy and colonoscopy because nobody still ever said cancer. They were looking for a bleed, internal bleed. They thought that's why.
It's unbelievable with leukemia how hard it is to diagnose in many cases and undiagnosable. And my wife, the minute she went in, like literally, they knew, she knew, but that's not always the story. And my wife walked in kind of strong as an ox. A lot of people, when you walk in damaged, that's how you perish. If you walk in strong for the fight, you can fight. If you walk in really sick, that's when you don't make it, and people don't find the they think they have the flu. And that's the worst. And we've learned that.
I had like 3 or 4 different things before they even figured out what it was. It was an upper respiratory infection. It was bronchitis. It was you have a bleed. After a while you lose count of what they thought it was. When
was this? When was the first time you got sick, Jen?
Huh?
When was that, the first time you were sick?
I was actually diagnosed April 24th, 2018.
So last year. Okay, so this is all in the last 14 months. Fine. Okay. I thought maybe it went back a little further. So when you were fighting...
I'm crazy enough to take this on.
you were pre-transplant, right? When John Harbaugh, a year ago this week, you were waiting for your transplant.
I didn't have my transplant until November 1st of last year.
Who was your donor, or are you aware of your donor?
Unknown. I don't know him yet. We tried family members. I had too many antibodies and antigens. I kept attacking everything they were putting before me, and they finally found a perfect match that was a 10 out of 10, and best that they could get for me. And it was successful. I actually engrafted by day 13 100% my donor cells.
Incredible. My wife
never had that.
Yeah, my wife was 30 days, and they considered that a miracle, literally.
Right, because it normally takes about 2 months. It normally takes 2 months for someone to engraft. So
something about the name Jenn, I think, I mean, it's something about Jenn. That's what it is.
Absolutely. It's definitely the Jenn.
Jennifer Dempsey is my guest, hence the Jenn Strong hat coming out of retirement. I got the mothballs off. My wife's already visited. Jenn is alive and well and a survivor and carrying around that Philly chromosome that we've learned a little bit about. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, they're having an event for Man and Woman of the Year. She's Woman of the Year candidate. So come on out, supporting Carolyn Lynch as well as Jenn Dempsey. It's at the Main Street Tower. A bowl, a shrimp. Paulie's band is playing, so it's not going to suck. And especially if you love country music, you're going to like it. If I show up, maybe I'll sit in and sing Brown Eyed Girl or something. It's at the Main Street Tower. It's on Sunday from 2 until 7. It's up in Bel Air. We're raising dough. We're telling Jenn's story, a different Jenn story. And, for you, where are you in this journey right now as a survivor? I mean, my wife did 30 ballparks in 30 days after her first survival. She did about 18 of the 30. And then she was re-diagnosed 3 months ago or 3 months later and then had the fight again. I hope that you're in a good spot. I hope that you're in a safe spot. But you're taking on something in this Woman of the Year fight that it's not something everyone wants to do, and certainly for my wife having been bald all over the internet and yourself and the same 20 or 30 years ago, this isn't how people fought, right? They sort of fought quietly in a corner and no one wanted to come out of the house and we get a wig and we don't talk about the uncle with cancer. Boy, the modern era makes everyone want to band together, I think. What's about the bad things in social media, Jenn? You, my wife, these are the good stories of where social media brings people together. And I know on your fight, that's what it's all about. And you're going to have a mob scene up there at the Main Street Tower. All the people up at Della Rosa's last year will be down there supporting you and happy that you're alive, same as everything we do with my wife. I mean, it's very, very inspirational and powerful. I hope you have a great day there on Sunday, but tell me about why you got involved, because this is heavy lifting after surviving for you.
It was a big thing I took on that, believe me, and I'm not even going to lie, I questioned me taking the one as soon as I did, that I should have probably put more time, because even though I post all the good stuff, and I always leave the bad stuff out, I have my days, and Jen will know it, and you know it. You have them days where you don't want to get out of bed for a day or two. You don't, and I push myself, and I'm trying to live the best life I possibly can, because with or without cancer, your days are limited. You don't know what days you have, and, you just want to live your best life possible to the strongest extent.
So why not have a bowl and shrimp roast on Sunday and listen to and drink some beer? I mean, that's exactly
I'm sure
what you
guys
should
understand.
Well, we were in New York this weekend,
You want to give back.
You want to go live your life. You want to do good things, I mean, that's why we're doing Baltimore Positive. My wife, we had a hard time finding the Jenn Strong hat because, we had sort of retired it, you know what I mean? But I brought it out. My wife's like, just wear the Be Positive hat. That'll promote Baltimore Positive. I'm like, I have a Jenn Strong hat. I'm going to find the damn thing at the bottom of the... It is... Sunday, and I got a double dose. I'm seeing Bill Maher at the Modell Lyric on Sunday night. So everybody get on down. Leukemia Society, a Woman of the Year fundraiser. Jenn Dempsey is here. She is a Jenn. She's a kick-ass survivor. They're at the Main Street Tower. It's going to be a great time. Boot and Rally duo. They got magicians. All you can eat beef, shrimp, and draft beer. I'm there. The Money Wheel Silent Auction 50-50. And Dennis Shockett, who I also know, Greg Schroeder, who I also know, Pat Schroeder. I hope Pat's going to be there. Sugar Jack, walk-ins welcome. My boy Paul Lamantia. And if I show up, I might sing country music for the first time in my life. So crazy things going to happen because Paul will make me sing. So I'm working on that. $40. Come on out. Give till it hurts. Make Jenn you're already my Woman of the Year. How about that? Does that work?
That works.
When's the deadline on that? When is the fundraising and all that stuff?
The actual deadline, I will be also posting links that if you can't make the event and you want to just be able to donate, I have posted them links. They're on my page, and I will post it again. But you can buy tickets up to the door.
All right.
It would be great to have the account ahead of time so we have, great food availability for everybody. But we do have up until the day.
You know, I don't know that Harbaugh knows for sure whether you're alive. Like, literally, right? Like, I don't know, right? So
I don't know. They told me I should have died 3 times, so.
All right. So, I got to send him a text right now. So, what do I send him? Hold on here. First off, good morning. Let's go with that. I am on the phone, and I'll put on the air. Let's see, on the air with the other Jenn Strong. You FaceTimed with. Hold on, I'm working on this. You FaceTimed with last training camp in Bel Air. She is alive. And running for
and kicking butt.
hold on, running for LLS Woman of the Year, and is looking for you.
Perfect.
All right, good. All right, I'm sending that. How about that?
There you go.
All right, I'm sending a smile. Good morning. I'm on the phone on the air with the other Jenn Strong you FaceTime with last training camp in Bel Air. She is alive and running for LLS Woman and looking for you. There it is. All right, so there. Harbaugh's heard from you this morning as well. We hope to hear from everybody at the Main Street Tower Restaurant and Lounge in Bel Air, or Blair, as they say, 2 to 7 on Sunday. Jenn, keep breathing, keep fighting, keep raising dough. Don't drink too much. You'll get a headache.
I'm not allowed to drink still.
You're not allowed to drink?
No, I'm not allowed to drink.
In heaven there is no beer.
Yep.
That's why we drink it here. All right, we'll see you soon, all right? Good luck with everything.
Sounds great.
We'll see you on Sunday.
You
Jenn
so
Dempsey,
much.
everybody knows her. We got 59 mutual friends. Give her a shout-out. Coach Harbaugh's giving her a shout-out. I'll give you a shout-out. And support the folks at Leukemia Lymphoma Society. They keep people like my wife and Jenn Dempsey alive, and Maria Dennis, and anybody else you know who's had leukemia. Nasty at WNST.net finds me. I'm out in the bayou, Toyota.com, Audio Vault. All of our charity, community, cool stuff brought to you by our friends at Cole Roofing. I got the Cole Roofing hat somewhere over here. Let me grab that. Hold on here. Free the birds. Oh, I got my Be Positive hat. Here you go. I'll put this one on. That's good. Cole Roofing, I'm out of coffee. What can I say? Gordian Energy. Bill Cole will be here to give me therapy, which I clearly need at some point later in the week. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore. And we never stop talking Baltimore sports.